Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting another receptacle into the wall. Now I've already done another one just like this. I'll link that right here. Now the first time I did this, you should see I have a lot more lighting. When I first did that first video, I didn't have a whole lot of lighting and a whole lot of good camera quality stuff. Now I'm a little bit more better in my quality of lighting and camera. So now when I cut this in, you'll be able to see exactly what I have now. I have not even remotely been in this box at all, so I don't know if it's the end of the line or if there's two real mixes coming in here. A lot of you had questions before of what do you do if you have this wire, what if you do have that wire. Well, hopefully, like I said, I've never been in this receptacle whatsoever, so when I jump in here and I show you, if it's a single wire, obviously that's common sense. If there's two wires, we're going to show you what happens. So without further ado, let me jump right on in here and get this started, guys. Okay, so the tools you're going to need for this today is a keyhole saw or drywall saw, a screwdriver. It doesn't have to be this one. This is a 10-in one. A pair of wire strippers, a level, a pair of clines or side cutters, a pencil, your cut-in box, a pocket knife potentially, wires, wire nuts. Okay, so for this project, what we want to do is we want to make sure that when we take this plate cover off, because it's never been off, we want to make sure that we don't pull the paint with it. So the best way to do that is after we take a screw out, if it does get tight, which I don't know if this one will or not, what we want to do is take a little knife and just score around it. Now this circuit is completely off, trust me. Obviously I've checked it. So we'll take the screw out. Okay, obviously it's not. So we're not going to reuse this. It's pretty much trash. But if you want to keep it for, you know, maybe another time, if you're cutting another receptacle in, so be it. Because mine's in decent shape. But anyway, so it looks like we have one wire in this box. So what does that mean? It means that this is definitely the end of the line. And it means that this would be pretty cut and dry. Now I wish there was two wires in it to show you, but I'll explain that to you as I'm going, so maybe you can get a better feel of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out and we'll get started. Okay, so a lot of you guys, I mentioned before a couple things. First of all, I mentioned that you'd never want to push a receptacle in the back. And you see, yet again, this is pushed in the back. This is the way that some people do it. I don't prefer it because of obvious reasons. I just don't recommend it at all, okay? So what we're going to do is, since I know it's off, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it loose. Okay, so now the time is to figure out, is there a stud here or not? Now, personally, what I like to do, I always use cut-in boxes, especially when you're doing what I'm doing. Now, what you're going to need to do is figure out what side the stud's on. Now, you know you're going to be putting a double receptacle in here. So you can either use, you know, this right here, this keyhole saw. And you can see definitely the stud's right there. So we know it's on this side. Or one other thing you can do is you can take the wires when you know that they're completely dead and you can pull it. The side that actually moves the most, as you see right here. Let's see if I can zoom in. So you can see that moving, this side right here. You know there's no stud there because it's nailed into the wall here, so it's going to be tight right there. So what we got to do now is we got to get this box out. Now I showed you last time exactly how to do it. So basically what I'm going to do this go around is I'm going to pretty much do the same thing. I'm going to take this box right here, I'm going to put it on the wall, I'm going to trace it out, I'm going to go ahead and cut what I need to cut out because I already know that there's no stud right there. And we're just going to go ahead and cut this thing in here. Okay, so what I've run into is when I was trying to show you how to level it, I didn't realize why, I couldn't figure out why my box would not go on there straight. Because when I leveled this thing up, I looked and I was like, okay, something's wrong. Well, when they cut this box, or when they actually cut the sheetrock and put the box in there, that is out of level. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. So we already know that we need to be on this side of the stud, because you can kind of, I mean, you know, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the stud is definitely right there. So we can't be any closer than that part of the blue box. So what we'll do is we'll just take it right over here to the very edge. And now what we'll do is we'll level it up as best we can. Now what I'm doing on this box is there's a top part right here. right here, and I'm just letting it level right there. And when it levels up, it levels perfect. It'll show you exactly what is level and what's not. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put it on here and level her up. All right, there we go. So having said that, let's draw our lines. And what you want to trace, you don't want to trace all the ears, you want to trace right here inside. So if this was on the wall like this, you would just put your pencil in here and you would draw right here in between these. And then that's what I got here. Obviously it doesn't look like that because this box is here. So what you'll do is you'll just take your pencil and you'll kind of just magically connect the dots. And that's the part you're going to cut out right there. Let's go ahead and cut this box out and we'll start. Now I have a towel down here below me, because an old towel, because I really don't want to have to clean the carpet up if I don't have to, and this towel is really kind of like my work towel. So there we are. We have a hole in the wall. Now we have to get this box out. Now I showed you a couple ways doing it last time with the screwdriver. Like I said, you can watch all that on the other video. What I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to push this wire back up in here, and I'm going to take my other screwdriver, which is a 10-in one, and I'm just going to basically do the same thing. Just knock it out. You know, because it will come out. You just got to be careful with the 10-in one because you might lose your bits if you ain't careful. Just like so. Pop it out. Bada boom, bada bing. Now you're left with a really nice hole. Alright, here's your wire. So, it's coming down this way in the wall. So we want to make sure when we put our double gang switch in, our double gang cutting box in, we want to come in on that side with it. So we'll go ahead and we'll put it in. What I did is I took a screwdriver and I just kind of pushed it in and arched it back just a little bit. Now that way it's easier for me to put the wire in, and yet I can, when it's all said and done, that clip in there will still hold the wire, won't come out. So go ahead and put it in like so. Just feed it in. Alright, now all we got to do is literally put it in. No editing on that one, that's perfect. I wish it would always like this. Alright, we'll just go ahead and we'll tighten it up until it snugs up. Like so. Alright, do the same thing here. Okay, so let me show you something. When I was trying to put this one in here, the screw would not let that thing ride on down here. So what you're going to have to do when that happens, see, no matter what I do, that's what happens. And that is because the simple fact that it's only plastic obviously, but you're going to have to rerun it down before you put it in. Otherwise you'll never get it in, you'll strip the screw out and you'll be mad, wishing you'll be hating life. Blah blah blah. So we'll just go ahead and we'll run it down. I'm glad that happened on camera, and that way it puts a groove in that plastic, because I could not get it to start, and I think I edited out what I said. Alright, now we're ready to go. Alright, now we're ready to put it back in. Put it back in. I'm going to start with that one first, since that was the trouble one. There we go. All right. Wait till it tightens. There we go. That's good. To the bottom, we already know the bottom's good, but we'll tighten it up anyway. All right. Now you don't want to keep cranking so tight that it just pulls, you know, right through, because it will. It's only plastic, guys. With our wire pulled down as far as we can get it, I'm gonna go ahead and make the final tightening. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it down until I think it's good and tight, and you'll know when it's tight enough. You know, there. It's not going anywhere. Now what I like to do very first thing is I like to make both of my wire joints exactly the same size. It makes it easier to make the joints up on it. Now the grounds I really don't care much about right now because that's something for later. But right now I'm working with the hot neutral. Now these strippers right here they're called dual strippers, and they actually strip 2 wires at one time. I've mentioned these on a couple of my electrical videos. Basically you just put them in there side by side. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm going to strip a little bit more though. I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece of Romex I just showed you. I'm going to cut 2 lengths off of it, like so. Alright, now if you don't have a knife, which I don't bring a knife up here with me because I have one in my pocket, but you see the wire is not sticking out, and you can, you know, it's really easy, just pull it out. But what we like to do is take our clients and tap it, and the other end actually comes out, and you can grab all 3 of them and pull them all out just like that. All right, well, I have to be honest, my battery went dead, and yeah, so I said a whole lot of other stuff. But anyway, what I need to do is go ahead and get all my wires together. Like I said, slap it, pull the wires out, and get my 3 wires out. All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead, and I like to work from ground, neutral, hot. I've said that many times before, and that's the way I'm gonna roll with this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put all 3 wires together just like so, as you see. Right, so we're gonna put them together. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can definitely see what's going on here. So there's my 1 wire. I need 2 because I'm putting 2 receptacles in here. So 2 will be on 1, and we'll just take them and we'll twist it. Always twist, always, always, every single time twist. Don't just put it under the wire nut. That's half-ass, and that's just not good. Now, I don't necessarily use these wire nuts all the time, but I do like these. They're a little bit longer on the collar right here. So, all right, we'll just put a wire nut on here, and we'll put it back in the box. All right, so how many receptacles can you put on a circuit? All right, a rule of thumb is this, okay? There is a code for it. I'm not going to get in with the code with you on that. So I'm just going to tell you a rule of thumb, okay? And you can take it for what it's worth. Definitely check with an electrician before you do this. And if an electrician does not want to tell you, you can call your local building inspector and they'll tell you. I never put more than 10 on any circuit ever. All right, and there's a reason for it, and that's just a rule of thumb. So when you turn your breaker off, you need to count how many receptacles are off. How many receptacles are actually off. You don't want to overload it, okay? Because you can, and that's not good. Now, of course, the 20 amp breaker will take care of itself, you know, but I'm just letting you know, rule of thumb for me is no more than 10. And I know that I'm well under that because the person who wired this house before me did an excellent job minus stabbing in the back. Other than that, this guy was very thorough. Okay, anyway, on to this now. So we're going to put these wires together. And we're going to twist them. Alright, we'll put the wire nut on. Just like so. And we're going to put it back in the box. And then all we're left with the hot. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to strip them out. Now if you have just a single pair of strippers, you know you just have to do one at a time. But luckily for me, I have the duals, and I can just strip them both. Now ordinarily you would leave more wire coming out of your box, but since this is what I got, it is what it is. And that's enough for me to make the joint on. I'm going to put a wire nut on here. And put it back in the box. Now, what we're left with is neutral, ground, and a hot. Both sides. See? One receptacle here, one receptacle there. Now I like to work with one at a time. So the heel of my hand, or whatever you want to call it, the bridge of my hand, is going to go against the wall. I'm going to stick my thumb out and put the wire right at the end of it. That is how long I want my wires. So, as you see, I just got to trim a little bit, and I'm ready to roll. So we'll do the same thing. Make them both exactly the same, which they pretty much are. I'm gonna strip. Now, these holes right here in your strippers, everybody has a good pair of strippers, will have holes in them. That's what they are for, is to take it, you put your wire in it, put it near the end, and you just make you a little loop-de-loop. Pretty cut and dry, right? Now, if you don't have strippers and you're stripping it by a knife or whatever, pair of clines, which I usually do, you can put them in your clines like this, about a quarter of the way in, and you can do the same thing. Now they look pretty much identical, right? As you can see. All right, now we're gonna do one at a time. So we'll put the ground on. All right, we're gonna go ground, neutral, hot, like I always tell you in all my electrical videos. And just put it around there, tighten it up. Now I said before, as far as you know, screwing your screw down, it really doesn't matter because you shouldn't have the wires touching, but I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them down anyway. And we'll do the hot. And we'll just tighten it up. Now you want to tighten these down good. I mean, you don't want to break the receptacle, obviously, but you want them tight because loose connections always makes fire, always. It'll sit there and heat up. You don't want that. Now to put it back in the wall, what I do, I push down and push up. So I'll push down, and then I'll push the wire in, and then I'll push it down again, and she sits pretty much where it needs to be. And we'll just go ahead and tighten her up. So I've had all kinds of issues today with my thing. I was just telling you basically that I don't use a drill because I don't like to. My battery went dead. That's why I don't use a drill, because it has been known to for me to strip the screw out. So I just, you know, unless, like I said, unless I have a whole bunch of them. But anyway, we'll move on to the next one here. We're in there good and tight. All right, we'll do the same thing. Stick your hand there. We'll cut. Get these two together. Strip them out. We will twist them. Tighten it up. Now, in case you're wondering what kind of receptacles these are the ones from Home Depot. They come in a 10-pack. I buy them usually 10 at a time because I tend to use a lot during the year. Whether it be a new circuit I'm putting in, or helping somebody else out at their home, or whatever. So I buy usually a 10-pack. And yeah, these are Hubbles, so they're very good, obviously. I think I paid, I want to say, like, don't quote me, but I think $10 or $11 at Home Depot. 10-pack, I'm not even sure if that's even right. So, down, up, and then down again. And Ron, if you're watching this, you asked me about the wires touching, you know, the grounds being bare and everything. This is when you do 2 or more, you want to make sure that the grounds are not touching. So you want to give it a look in the box and make sure. We'll put it on here. Tighten it up. Okay. So with the plate in hand, we're going to put it on here. Always want screws up because that just looks the best. And there we go. Perfectly level, even though the camera's not. I can see the camera's definitely not. Has not been pretty much the whole time, but you get the picture. This is it. This is what you got. You have everything's good and tight. Nothing is going to break off, or, you know, when you pull the receptacle out, like this one right here, for instance. See, when you push it in, pull it out, it didn't, I mean, it's not coming out of the wall. Okay, so I hope that cleared up some of the questions that I had before. Pretty cut and dry. You can do it yourself. I mean, you can hire somebody, obviously, but, you know, it's pretty easy to do if you just turn your breaker off, and if you don't feel comfortable, turn all your breakers off, even the main. That way you know you're safe. All right, guys? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to address them. And I think I've pretty much addressed all the ones that I've had, except some of the stupid ones, which obviously weren't even really electrical questions. But anyway, if you like what you see here, like and subscribe. God bless. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, guys.